Here we go! And the hearts are pounding in Denver.
This is Something Something Broncos.
This one's for Pat. It is caught. Touchdown, Moses. Elam's kick. It is. Down the sideline. 93 yards. Stokely. Wow. Davis into the end zone. Walking, standing up. Touchdown. Denver's going to win it. Bailey taking off. Oh, baby, they're going to win this thing. Unbelievable.
Featuring
and here he is,
Mike DeSico and Jess Place.
having the time of his life.
Welcome to Something Something Broncos.
Oh, my God.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Something Something Broncos. I am Jess Place, joined, as always, by my partner in crime, Mike DeSico. The school year is over.
Done.
All the baseball that I've been doing with my kids, that's over. It's the off season. It's time for players to get in trouble and for off season training. What should we get into first, Mike? Do you want to talk? Are you happy the school year's over? Should we check in with Mike personally before we move on to all things Broncos?
Well, you know, the school year's over, and I spent yesterday in my classroom. I spent today in my classroom, but only for like 10 minutes. But in a way, the school year's never over, but it was nice to be in my classroom without any kids there. If any of them are listening, and all of them should be, I love you guys. But it was nice that it was quiet.
Now that you can't grade them, they're not listening.
They're not listening.
No, sir. No.
Hey,
nope.
Jess,
Yeah.
you want to hear
Yeah.
something cool?
Yeah, lay it on me, Mike. What you got?
We kind of have Broncos football.
I'm so excited. It's a long off season, a really long off season. Once free agency and the draft are over, then it's just like, oh my God. Like if you've been following over at milehighreport.com, it's like of course, Jess's Monday articles are unheralded Broncos. It's like I have to go deep into the annals of Broncos history to find the annals. The annals, you know, they say annals up here in New England. It's a regional thing.
You guys are weird up in New England. But you know what the worst part about all this free time is the players in your spirit, I'm going to name a random Bronco.
Yes.
A player like Jonathon Cooper might have time to get in trouble and do stupid stuff. Come on, Coop.
God. Well, all right. Should we talk about what he did and how amazingly stupid he is, or should we listen to what Coach Sean Payton had to say?
Obviously, he's innocent until proven guilty. But Sean, hit me.
No, he's stupid. Like it's a stupid thing to do. It's stupid. So this is Sean. This is Sean Payton.
It's allegedly stupid.
Alleged crimes, profound stupidity. Can we?
All right, here. Let's hear it.
Okay. All right. So this is from the press conference at OTAs on what was that? That's Tuesday. Tuesday. First day of OTAs. Coach Sean Payton, Jonathon Cooper. Excuse.
Real quick before I get into the practice relative to Jonathon Cooper, we've excused him from this minicamp. He's taken this time. Obviously, he's got to work on himself, and the club is very much in tune to the league office, local authorities here, and we've had several meetings. Clearly, from an ownership standpoint, head coach, organizationally, there's a bar that we have and an expectation that we have that's very high. We'll consider all of that as we continue to gather the information, and that's really all I can tell you. And I think it'll take a little bit of time, but we're continuing to go through that process, and we take it very seriously.
All right, he says.
All right.
Mike, what do you think? Jonathon Cooper. Well, lay it out. What did he do? He got in trouble, and then he got in trouble again.
Right. You know, when I first heard it, it was kind of sounded like she's kind of almost as much fault as he is. It sounded like something that got out of hand. But then he kind of went back and made the situation worse.
That's right.
And there is no excuse for a man to threaten or hurt or whatever, intimidate a woman. And just because he's a star linebacker, edge rusher for the Broncos does not excuse that. And we're not the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't condone this. We don't excuse it.
That's right.
We're better than that, right?
I'd like to think so.
So he's great. He's a great player, but if any of this hashes out to be true type of a thing, I don't want him on the team. He should go play for somebody else.
This is a rare moment for me, Mike. You might want to record this.
I'm buckling up. I got my seatbelt on. Buckle it in.
I am in full agreement with you. I wrote an article on Monday where I called him stupid, a doofus. I am so mad that someone with so much potential could be so stupid.
Right.
We've already covered this in a glaze of allegedly. So I'm just gonna rant for just a sec. How do you? He got arrested for strangulation. Like,
right.
So he was essentially choking his girlfriend. She had his cell phone, was wanting to go through it. You can imagine why he would be so adamantly against it. I'm sure he has many secrets that he wanted to keep from her. And those secrets were more important than playing football for the Denver Broncos. I can't imagine having priorities as skewed as that. And so he got arrested. He got popped. He went to OTAs last week. Yeah, he was there, not a distraction. And then, boom, he gets nailed again because he was texting and calling the girlfriend. And then, in a colossal act of stupidity, violated the protective order by going to her house and banging on the door. And he was arrested again a second time and caught some more charges. So, this is not the act of someone who is smart, someone who is committed to playing football for the Denver Broncos. We do not need someone like that. The Broncos do not need to lower that bar that Sean Payton was talking about. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable behavior. Clearly, his priorities and values are elsewhere. They're not in line with the Broncos. And he's not there at mandatory OTAs this week. And I say good riddance. I don't want to see him again.
I said we're not the Chiefs because just a day or two ago, Rashid Rice got out of prison. And he's going to be right back in Chiefs practice because that's who they are. I want to be better than that. And we have good edge rushing depth, so we'll be fine. And even if we weren't, even if this was PS2, who's not stupid enough to do this, I would have won him on my team either way. So, we got decent depth there. There's a edge rushers you could sign that you can backfill and be your fifth person. But I come from a newspaper background, so I'm like all awash and allegedly let the system play out type of a thing because you say that so you don't get sued. And so allegedly he's done all this stuff. If it's proven, I don't want him there. And even if he gets off on she doesn't decide to press charges, this, that, he was still so stupid enough to go back to her apartment, violate the order and all of that. There is no way he comes out of this looking smart or good, even if he comes out of this looking not guilty.
I mean, I would like to use the word allegedly, but he was arrested at her apartment.
Right.
The physical facts dictate.
That's the stupid part. The alleged part is what happened the first time.
It's part of the stupid part.
Right.
The whole thing is stupid. And I will say it again, just like I said it in my article on Monday. He is stupid.
Right. Could we have a palate cleanser? Because Jonathon Cooper wasn't there, but you know who was? Bo Nix while I whip this out.
There you go. Is that your palate cleanser?
Yeah, there it is. Bo Nix was there at OTAs. Ahead of schedule, people were like, he may not be ready for training camp. He was, he did teamwork, individual work, group work, stuff like that. He sat out the team period, but he said he could have been full go for that if they wanted him to. I understand why they didn't. Bo Nix is back. What you hear from Bo Nix and the Broncos will be PR spin, but he says he's better than ever, full mobility, all ready to go. God, if that's true, give me that Bo love. Show me all the highlights of him hitting deep passes to Waddle. I want it right now.
Well, Mike, he spoke to the media.
No way.
He did.
Wait,
he did.
Jess, stop. Do you have a clip?
I do.
Oh my God.
And it's about his ankle and how he's feeling and all that, because I cannot get enough Bo Nix ankle talk. I need more ankle talk.
If Bo Nix asked, I would be rubbing it during this entire podcast just to help keep it loose. Get the blood flow going, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you're a foot guy, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
I'm a football guy.
I get those confused. Here's Bo Nix.
Well, it was hard because I wanted to be full speed so fast, but that's just unfortunately not how post-surgery goes. But been there, had an ankle fracture in college, so knew sort of what the rehab was. Obviously, it was a different bone, so you got to let those different bones heal differently. And when I got back going, felt really good. Just a little bit of soreness. Just wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way for good. And now, they tell me I didn't get in there and look at it, but the doctors tell me it's ankle looks as good as new, and we're right back to normal. So once the progression of the rehab comes and goes, after you wait your due diligence and wait patiently, get through it, should feel great.
Oh my God, the ankle feels great, Mike.
That's not great news for the rest of the NFL, though.
It really isn't, but I don't care about that.
Screw them.
Yeah.
Screw them. I like it. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad the Broncos are, taking time to hold him out of those team periods, because one of the side effects is you're looking at the Sam Ehlinger, Jarrett Stiddy battle, because there's no guarantee that Stiddy is number 2 going into this year. And so those two each getting some reps is cool. Bo is back. Bo is healthy. It doesn't take the sting off of that AFC Championship game, of course. But this is best case scenario heading into the season. That's good.
Well, I'm glad ankles heal. I wasn't worried. Was anyone worried? Was anyone worried that like the ankle would be like a festering sore, like a stump? He'd be playing with a stump.
Well, there was worry that, when he had that cleanup procedure, that he was going to be behind schedule, and, he wouldn't be playing at full speed, full mobility, full capability. He would be limited. Because, quarterback, it's all about footwork. Are you planning on getting that base? You step into your throws. And so, yeah, there was concern until his ankle is proven healthy. It's a concern. And it really hasn't been proven healthy. We were just told that it was healthy. So it's still a good spot to be in. Like I said, best case scenario for June 17th. This is where you want to be.
Are you saying there might be a conspiracy to conceal some actual damage on Bo Nix's ankle? Is this where we're headed? We're headed into this territory?
I am just saying, until we see him actually move around and play, we're taking their word for it. And of course, they're going to say, "Oh, everything's great. We're ahead of schedule." They're not going to say anything otherwise. They said what you would expect them to say.
Fair. Yeah, I'm excited. I was not nervous about Bo Nix's ankle. We have only heard so much about his ankle because it is the offseason.
Right.
And it was such a disappointment following that victory in the divisional round. So yeah, yes, it's great news. His ankle's fine. We can all move on. I mean, except for conspiracy theorist Mike.
What? No. No. No, I'm just
allegedly.
I'm just like trust but verify, Mike. That's who this Mike is. Trust but verify.
I think that's fair.
Another trust but verify is some news that came out. J.K. Dobbins, he seemed to come out a little fiery that, hey, I'm going to be the number 1 guy, not just on this team, but in the NFL, because I'm going to be hurt this next year. That's a trust but verify situation. But if that comes to be, that's almost as big as Jalen Waddle.
That's huge. No, I would love it. I would love it. Also, RJ Harvey is looking good. He's also turning some heads at OTAs, which they're in shorts and it's silly,
right?
But it's good news. I mean, it's all good news unless you're Jonathon Cooper. So there you go.
Right, or Jaleel McLaughlin, because Jonah Coleman's making the roster. Healthy J.K. Dobbins is making the roster. R.J. Harvey's making the roster. So, we love Jaleel.
I think he has a lot of talent and may have been overlooked to give carries to running backs who could do less. But That's last year. I'm
That's
moving
last
into
year.
this year. I'm excited about who we got, and if Jaleel's part of the squad, great. If he's traded,
Everybody loves the
even
guy.
better.
Not getting traded. He's getting released. Nobody's Jaleel at this point. He's a guy.
7th round pick. Get us something.
Every roster has a Jaleel McLaughlin on it, and I love the guy, but he's going to have to really explode during preseason to fetch a pick.
Well, and if he does, then he might stick around. So
right.
I'm rooting for him.
Absolutely. Everybody loves Jaleel. But another sign that we're getting in the offseason is the Broncos signed a couple USFL guys, UFL guys, free agent wide receivers. And people are like, oh my God, this guy, he's got a dark horse chance to make the roster, Does he? And so it's just kind of that, like, everybody likes to pick the, they're a little hipster. Here's the most unheard of player in training camp, but I think he's got a talent and he's got a chance to make the roster. And you look forward to it and you love it because we all have those guys. I had that, was it Virgil, the wide receiver, Jalen Virgil from 3 years ago? That was my guy. I love that guy. Who's your guy?
It's the Joe Don Duncan effect. Remember Joe Don Duncan?
Oh, of course.
And like Mario Fannin. Remember those guys? Like there's always those guys that you follow. Darius Watts.
Darius Watts. He was a second round pick though. So
but everyone fell in love with him and he did nothing. He literally did nothing. So
one of the reasons why I think everybody fell in love with him?
Because he wore number 17.
He came from Marshall a few years after another guy, wide receiver, came out of Marshall, right? Randy Moss. Everybody's like, oh, he's got that same lanky build as Randy Moss. He's got this as like Randy Moss. And he was no Randy Moss.
The only thing that football fans like more than attaching themselves to scrubs who will never make the team is equating current players to one-of-a-kind Hall of Famers.
Well, it's like how every white wide receiver is the next Ed McCaffrey. It's never, he reminds me of, Cortland Sutton. It's like, no. If you're a white wide receiver, you can only be compared to other white wide receivers.
Yeah, well,
there's never been a black wide receiver who's like, he reminds me of Ed McCaffrey. But there should be.
I agree. Like, let's break down these barriers and just compare apples
to talent.
Yes, right. I agree.
The only colors I see are orange and blue, baby.
That's right. Those are the most important colors.
Those are the ones you worry about, except for the fact that it's the World Cup. Go USA, Weston McKinney, Christian Pulisic. We're talking soccer on Something Broncos. And Jess, where are you going to be on Friday for the game? 3:00. USA, Australia. There's bad blood. There's chirping. It's going to be.
You know where I'm going to be? My beautiful wife bought me tickets to go see. Now, I know all of our Colorado-based peeps of a certain age might know this band. It's The Samples. I have a very very dark secret that I am a huge fan of this jam rock band from Colorado.
Never heard of it.
that hit its apex of popularity maybe in like 1998. And so they're coming to town. They're coming to town, and I'm going to go see them for like the 100th time. And so I'm looking forward to that. I don't think they're going to have the football match on.
It's at 3 p.m., Jess.
And I'm okay with I'm not going to make it. I have to get ready for the concert. Sorry.
Right. What do you have to do? Curl your hair? You don't have hair.
It's a process. There's a ritual. Is
there glitter involved?
There might be glitter just for you though, Mike. I would introduce glitter just because you asked. So
right,
anyway, I'm going to go see the
USA.
Samples. I'm avoiding soccer.
I asked you to watch USA Australia, so obviously there's limits to what you'll do for me.
Well, yeah, there are.
There are. So
wait,
but what? Go,
Mike.
What?
There was also a Jalen Waddle at OTAs, and there was some Jalen Waddle.
You see that? Was he a tight end we traded for? Tell me about this guy.
He is the new wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins. I think it's awesome. I'm really excited to see him play. I have high expectations for him, and so far, all the reviews seem to be pretty good. Would you like to?
Well, can I ask a question here? Obviously, the reviews are going to be good because this is a PR session. They're not going to be anything bad. Do you think? This is going to sound crazy. Do you think it's crazy that Broncos country might have too high of expectations of Jalen Waddle?
No. I don't.
Do you think they're accurately placed?
So here's the thing. The Waddle story, unfortunately, cannot be written exclusively by Jalen Waddle. And so it really comes down to how Davis Webb and Bo Nix incorporate him into the offense and how he does, because we've seen it. We've seen it in years prior where the Broncos acquire a player and we think, oh man, this is going to be awesome. The offense is going to run through them. And then for whatever reason, they completely ignore them. Russell yes, exactly. Well, I'm thinking of like Jamal Charles. Remember, like
Jamal Charles
kicked our ass up and down the block with the Chiefs, and we're like, oh my God, we got Jamal Charles. This is going to be amazing, and he did great. We just didn't give him the ball for whatever.
Right, he came out of the gate so fast, and we're like, oh, Chiefs fans, you idiots, you let him go, and then like 6 weeks later, he was released.
And it was weird. Like, he did great, and they just refused to give him the ball. So,
right,
unless this is one of those situations, I think there's a high ceiling for Jalen Waddle. I think it's going to be a great destination for him. He's going to be used.
I agree.
He's going to be integral. Yeah.
And I think he, like we touched on earlier, he and J.K. Dobbins, oddly, I think are going to complement each other really well, because that safety is not going to creep in the box towards J.K. Dobbins as much anymore when Waddle's out there. And then if J.K. Dobbins is running the ball, that safety has to creep in there, and it's going to create something for Jalen Waddle. And so everybody's talking about how Cortland Sutton and Jalen Waddle are going to complement each other. It could really be J.K. Dobbins and Jalen Waddle complementing each other by opening the game up and just making each other's lives easier. Anyway, can I hear from Jalen Waddle?
Well, yes. It's actually not Jalen Waddle. This is Bo Nix.
Oh, okay. I do care.
Talking about Jalen Waddle.
Then I'm in. I care.
You care. All right.
I care.
I just want to make sure. I mean,
Bo Nix, baby.
I don't want to play something that you're not going to be excited about. Okay.
Jess, this is the most excited I've been in 4 months.
That's the kind of weapon that we added, and that's, I think, what we've all been out here watching and sort of really enjoying watching, just see him get out here, move and run around, and you just can't replace speed, and that's just what he brings to the table. And he's extremely fast with the ball in his hands. Looked like he doesn't really slow down to make cuts, which is pretty tough to do for a fast guy. But he's just going to add an element of relief for everybody else, and take a little bit of the touches so that other guys don't have to take them all. And once those guys take them, they're fresh and ready to take them. So I think he just a guy like that makes everybody on the offense better, and then it obviously helps the defense in the same way.
I love everything he just said.
Well, because here's the thing. Bo Nix knows what he's talking about. He's Bo Nix. And honestly, he's the best. He knows stuff. I missed it.
Let's hear it one more time. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
I like that better. You seem like an angel.
Thank you. No, I think it's awesome. I the fact that he doesn't slow down to make cuts. I didn't know that. That makes good sense. And
I don't slow down to make cuts, but I'm going a little bit slower than Jalen Waddle, though.
Yeah, your cuts are nice. I'm not gonna bring those under any sort of scrutiny.
They're not as sharp.
It's established. Either. You got great cuts.
I got cuts.
And the fact, I get it. At some point, like, Bo may have been kind of just like rambling a little bit. He's like, the offense runs through him, and he could take it plays that the other guys and all that. Like, I felt like that was kind of just like blah, blah, blah. But it's true. It's exactly what we were just saying. It's like by virtue of him being on the field, it changes the dynamic of what the defense has to do in order to stop the Broncos. And that's great, because how many years in a row did we see them just stack the box and dare the Broncos to run at them, or God forbid they throw the ball? with Russell Wilson. You know,
And-
it was not great.
Right. And you knew like third down was going to Cortland Sutton. Now you don't know.
Yeah, it could go anywhere. I mean, you got Sutton on one side and you got Waddle on the other. That is going to give defenses fits, and that's awesome. And then to have a running threat like Dobbins up the middle.
Jonah Coleman. Greatest player out of the draft, hands down.
I hope so.
Except for, you know.
Unyedem.
Heidenreich.
Heidenreich!
There it is.
Heidenreich!
Oh, man. So, you know, the other
You have
thing.
to let him go, Mike. He's gone. He's not on the podcast.
No.
He's
He
not.
lives in my heart, and he will remain there forever. So there you go. You know, our theme so far has been kind of trust but verify. The biggest one for me that I'm looking forward to is how will Davis Webb call the offense, and will Sean Payton let him have full autonomy throughout the season? So that's the one thing we can't get out of these OTAs that I'm probably the most excited to find out about. So anyway, there you go.
Well,
Tossed it out there for you.
You're I'm gonna take the bait, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be very interesting to see how long of a leash Sean Payton gives Davis Webb.
Exactly my point.
I think it is going to be a quick hook. Just because of who Sean Payton is. I don't think he can trust as much as he needs to in order to hand off those play calling abilities. I could be wrong. But just kind of seeing how he is, you know, with reporters and players and different things,
Right.
it just seems like he is like, sure, you can do it. But then the first sign of difficulty, it's like, give me that clipboard, sucker, you know?
How do you think it'll manifest itself? Do you think it'll be like, I'm calling this third down play here, kid, or I'm calling the entire game? Or it could be like a progression, like, hey, I need to call these key situations. There's 2 minutes left in the game. Sit down, Davis. I've got this. How do you think it manifests itself? Do you think I think he's going to do a better job than you do, but I don't think he's going to be able to resist himself either.
I think if it is a high pressure situation, I think he'll yank the play card and do it. And then I wouldn't be surprised if it just kind of continues forward after that. You know, I think once you break that seal, it causes some problems. And so
Right.
I did notice how you were talking about it, though. You sounded there was certainty in what you were saying. So you think it will happen as well, right?
Oh, Davis Webb was a hot commodity around the league, and even if he just stayed as the QB coach, whatever, he was going to be even hotter commodity next year, is my guess. So the only reason he would stay is if he got some pretty concrete assurances from Sean Payton that would not happen. I'm just not sure how much Sean Payton can help himself. I think it might be more of a situational thing where he's like, you know, the offense has struggled for a couple of drives. I'm going to take over for this drive. You go settle yourself down or whatever. I think Davis Webb will have more freedom than you think he'll have. A longer leash, maybe.
I am interested. Like we'll see. Okay, so we'll see how much impact Sean Payton has on the game, because I have noticed, and talking to Saints fans that have a large volume of experience with Sean Payton, there is always that one incredibly stupid decision
that Sean Payton makes, right?
Yeah, if per game, there's always
right.
just at least
We're all
one.
familiar. Yeah,
and you know, it's like in the in the championship game, it's not kicking that field goal. You know what I mean? There is always one incredibly boneheaded decision that that affects the game, and with Davis Webb, we'll know how integral Sean Payton is on the play calling if that disappears or if it persists.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, not kicking the field goal was a very consistent call with how they do it. I'm okay with that. But the hard part about these, idiot decisions is sometimes they work out and he's a genius. And I feel like they worked out a lot more than they didn't, where on a 3rd and short, they hit somebody deep or this or that. So you're only an idiot if it doesn't work, right? And I think with Sean, it's worked more often than not. I get your point, but I just don't think that Davis Webb comes back unless he got some pretty ironclad guarantees, well-defined roles. How much Sean Payton can help himself is to be seen, but he's an older guy now than he was with the Saints. I don't think he would have done this unless there's something he wanted to do. I don't think this was forced on him. I don't think the GM or the owner said, you have to do this so we can keep Davis Webb around. I think he did it because it's something he wants to do and he believes in. And I think it's going to go better than you think it will. Maybe not perfect.
I'm not saying
better.
It's going to go poorly. I understand that the team is Super Bowl or bust, and I'm right there with them. I think that's the goal. It's a clear goal. It's the right goal considering the last couple of years. And yes, there will be boneheaded decisions, especially if Sean Payton is more involved than we expect. But in the end, the goal is the same, and I fully believe that they can make it to the Super Bowl and win it.
Win it.
Yes.
Well, the one thing we haven't talked about in this dynamic is Bo Nix. Bo Nix isn't, as we've seen, afraid to get in Sean Payton's face and speak his mind. And you wonder if, there's a couple of bad offensive series and Sean's like, hey, I'm taking over. If Bo will be like, no, stick with it. Stick with Davis. How he'll play that situation, because he'll be kind of caught in the middle of those two. And so that'll be something else interesting to watch. Who knows how it'll play out? Right.
Well, and that will be interesting. Like when mom and dad are fighting, what will Bo Nix do?
Yeah.
and they probably will butt heads. I mean, it's a long season, and,
yes.
and there's a lot of second guessing on all fronts, especially in the coach's room. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, but if you work with Sean Payton, you're going to be butting heads. That's just the way Sean Payton works. He's aggressive. He's in your face. And like they said famously with when Bo Nix yelled back at him, he likes people who will stand up to him and challenge it. So I wonder how Davis Webb will do with that. Will he be like, screw you, I'm keeping the play card, and run down the sidelines holding it over his head saying, you can't have it. You can't have it. So it'll be fun to watch. But hey, about a month from now, we're going to be in training camp and we're going to be gearing up for preseason games. So we're not that far, Jess. We're not that far, but we're close to the end of this podcast, sadly.
Chicken pot pie.
Chicken
pot
time. Pie.
Chicken pot pie.
But you're home. You're home, so you don't have to have a chicken pot pie immediately following this recording. So or have you wait.
Michael had chicken pot pie for lunch.
You may have already had chicken pot pie.
No, first of all, it's 9:20 a.m. out here. So what I am going to have is I make this chia seed pudding. We put chia seeds and some flaxseed, some milk. You let it ferment. See, it becomes like a pudding. Then you toss in a bunch of fruits, some blackberries, some raspberries, some banana, some granola on top. It is God's favorite meal, and I'm going to go have that and just be as happy as if I was watching Bo Nix sling a touchdown pass to Jalen Waddle.
And for our listeners that are moving to California, don't worry. The second you file your residency paperwork, they give you the recipe that Mike was just talking about.
Yeah, you get a bag of chia seeds from Costco. It's kind of like part of your welcome gift.
Yeah. So don't you worry. If you miss the recipe when you're moving to California, they will help you.
Oh, yeah. But hey, buddy, it keeps you regular. That's all I'm saying.
Now, Kenny, this my podcast.
All right, buddy. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Something Something Broncos. I'm excited about the season. Unfortunately, we're still a little bit of ways away, but you know what? It's coming, and you can't stop it, Mike. Don't try to stop it. You can't
Stop, won't stop. It's like Bo Nix. It's inevitable. Yeah. It's inevitable.
You know what? I didn't use this sound, and I'm sad about it. And
let's
the
put a smile on
opportunity.
your face.
And I'm gonna hit it, and then we're just gonna say goodbye. So
all right,
here
do
is.
it.
Welcome to Waddle.
There you go. I didn't get a chance to use it, and I felt
Goodbye,
bad.
Jess.
Goodbye, Mike.